Pierre Poilievre is at it once again, absolutely going off on the Liberals during question period, and he put out a video on his YouTube channel that I just wanted to cover because it's awesome. And it's called, "They Couldn't Possibly Do Any Worse, Could They?" So we're going to have a look at this. Now, before we do, please don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help grow the channel, and I appreciate you guys doing that for me so much. So let's have a look, and then we'll talk about it after like usual.
He admits they have to do better. It's not possible for them to do any worse, Mr. Speaker. The reality is today we learned that inflation is again on the march. All 4 measures of inflation are above Bank of Canada's targets. 2 are outside of and above the acceptable range. Food price inflation is rising 2 times the rate that Bank of Canada targets. No wonder we have 2 million people lined up at food banks every single day. This inflation has exploded since this Prime Minister doubled the deficit. Will he reverse his inflationary deficit and taxes in this coming budget?
Mr. Speaker, I think we all know in this side of the House and Canadians, math might not be the cup of tea of the Leader of the Opposition. Neither may be a...
Can you imagine a Liberal telling someone that they're not good at math? Look at the debt that's been added to this country. So are you saying that you guys are good at math and you did all that on purpose? Or are you saying that actually we're the ones who are bad at math? Is this more confession by projection by the Liberal Party? Remember when Mark Carney, part of his platform during his campaign was not just fear-mongering Trump, but also saying that he will be judged by the prices that you see at the grocery store. Well, the prices have gone up. Up is bad, down is good. What doesn't Champagne get about that? I mean, it's insane. Look at his psycho face. I mean, my God. Then you have this old lady here. Oh, good burn. Good burn. What are you talking about? The Conservatives aren't good at math? First of all, compared to a Liberal, the Conservatives are mathematicians. I don't know what this guy's talking about. This dude is absolutely insane, and again, I just can't believe idiots like this can actually win a riding. People in Canada will vote for a guy like this. It's sad and it's sickening.
Economics, Mr. Speaker, but let me quote one of the authorities in the world, which is the Director General of the International Monetary Fund, Mr. Speaker. She said just last week, then we have countries in the G7 that are in a better position. Germany and Canada stand up in that regard, Mr. Speaker. Both Germany and Canada recognize that this is a very testing time and they need to use their fiscal space. In the case of Canada, the Canadian authorities have been very decisive in taking action.
His banker friends in Washington may think that they have fiscal space, but the single mothers who can't afford groceries have no space left at all to pay for Liberal inflation. This government is forcing them to spend 70% more on the Canadian Revenue Agency. Today, the Auditor General revealed that only 15% of calls get responses on time. And even if someone does pick up the phone, there's an 83% chance they give you the wrong answer. Why does this government force Canadians to pay so much for such terrible service?
And not just terrible, it's not just terrible service in one way, it's terrible service in everything they do. A politician's job is to serve Canadians. Is that who the Liberal Party serves? No. They serve the WEF, they serve the globalists, they serve bankers. Why do you think Mark Carney is here to make a bunch of money for himself and his company? Well, because it's easy for him. He can pass policies that hurt our economy, help America's economy, because that's where his investments are, by the way. Elbows up. Remember that? 91% of Mark Carney's investments are in the United States. So do you think he really cares about the Canadian economy? Of course he's going to come out here and put together some ridiculous budget. He doesn't care how much debt we get into. He doesn't care if we can pay the interest loans. What's the worst that's going to happen to him? He's going to get way more wealthy and then eventually voted out. He doesn't care. Again, he is here to finish what Justin Trudeau was not competent enough to do. He was doing a really good job destroying the country, but then people turned on him. And they bring in this so-called nice, sweet old man, a rich old white man, by the way, which I thought liberals hated so much, until they get pandered to by one, and then they love him. But either way, you're going to see things continue to get worse and worse and worse. And if Mark Carney somehow does find a way to get an election in the next few months, or maybe even sooner, and they get a majority somehow, what's Canada going to look like after another 4 years of massive overspending, rent increases, price of groceries going up, stagnant wages? We can't really last that much longer. The middle class is in big trouble. But again, if you believe me, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist, that's what he's here to do. I hope that people, especially swing voters, start to wake up to this really soon. You're never going to convince a staunch liberal they're going to vote liberal. You're never going to take a hardcore conservative and get them to vote liberal. They're going to vote conservative. Swing voters decide elections. I've said that on this channel many times. That's who you have to go to. Right now, the polls are showing it's kind of back and forth, which tells you that it's very close. So, I don't know when things are going to shift, but it's not going to stay close forever. So hopefully Canadian swing voters start to wake up, realize what Mark Carney is here to do, and that this whole, his resume is so good. His resume is impressive on paper, but you look at the results, I mean, good Lord. The guy was a CEO at, I think, was it JP Morgan or Morgan Sachs, or Goldman Sachs, rather? One of those like major hedge fund companies. You think those people are good people, or just super corrupt and are willing to do anything to make money? That's who this guy is. That's the cloth he is cut out of. That is not the type of person you want to be a prime minister. You want someone who actually says to themselves, hey, I hear all these stories about people struggling. I want to help. I actually want to do my job and serve the people of Canada. And in my opinion, that's what Pierre Poilievre is here to do.